What is good, everybody? It's your boy Cam today. So I want to talk about last night's game between the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. As last night, as the Mavericks had their first preseason game, and they ended up coming up short. But the team was pretty short-handed yesterday. So Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving were resting, and Dante Exum, PJ Washington, and Luca were on the injury list, but it's okay. I wouldn't rush them to play right now, but it's only the first preseason game. So, but now I've been hearing the news today that Klay Thompson and Kyrie could be playing this Thursday, and the plan is for them to play those last three games of the preseason for the regular season start. And of course, they're not going to play the whole entire game, which is okay. Just be careful with the injury risk. And Jaden Hardy had a pretty good game. He had 21 points, and Derek Lively finished with 12. And there's one guy who's trying to fight for the final roster spot was Jasmine Gortman. He finished with 19 points, which really impressed me last night when they played. And then when John Morant had his first game back from his injury, but going to the second quarter, John Morant ended up getting an injury. He ended up going to the locker room. He ended up tweaking his ankle, but he returned to the game, and which was good news for the Grizzlies. And hopefully, he will stay healthy, and hopefully he can stay out of trouble and just be on the right path who he hangs out with and everything. And I did like their rookie who the Memphis Grizzlies got, which was Zach Edey, and he was pretty out of shape last night, but I think he played pretty well. And that posterizer over Daniel Gafford was pretty crazy. And it's going to take time for him to develop. I think he needs to get more muscle in him, and after that he'll be good. And well, the problem is, I think what the issue is for the Mavericks in that first quarter, they went like 1 for 5 for free throws, and they can't have this, man. Once the real season starts, especially when close games are here, but they gotta hit down their free throws. But hopefully they'll do better this upcoming Thursday with their free throws, and hopefully they'll come out to win, even though it's just preseason. But so far, I think our bench is pretty good. We have a pretty good, decent bench, and Jason Kidd did say about this could be the deepest team the Mavericks ever had, and I think this is the deepest team we had since the 2011 Mavericks when they won that championship that year, and we're just going to see. But and Najee Marshall, what I think about him, he definitely did pretty good last night, but he didn't only make 1 3, but that's okay. But he's actually do more than that than just playing defense and shooting. He's actually bringing the ball up the court. He's doing spin moves and everything. He didn't do all that with the Pelicans last year. And just with him last night, he impressed me pretty well. And he did a pretty good job. So it will be a interesting rotation what Jason Kidd does between Klay Thompson and Najee Marshall. It all depends on the matchups, who the Mavericks are playing. But there will times Klay will start. There'll be times Najee will start. We definitely need Najee Marshall for defense. And Najee Marshall is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, and he shoots 39% from the three-point line, which is really good. And I do want to talk about how Derek Lively played last night. Last night was very, very impressive for him. He's gotten so much better than he was from last year. When he first got here, all we did was rebound, block shots, and he scored some baskets too, but he's doing more than that. He made some dunks back to back, and what really impressed me the most about Lively last night was he was bringing up the ball to court, and he goes to the spin moves. He makes the and one. I'm like, dang, Lively, that's very impressive of you, man. Oh my goodness, but he's definitely gonna be a problem for some teams, and when he goes against Victor Wembanyama the first game of the season, that's gonna be a big, big battle. They're both bringing the ball up the court now, that's gonna be ridiculous matchup for that. But it's gonna be a battle, and I think San Antonio will be a little better from this year, but they're still rebuilding, so they're still young. But we're just gonna see what happens. But it, but the way Jaden Hardy played last night was really well, and I honestly think he could possibly still be getting traded. I'm not really sure, he's a good. He can shoot, but he just plays no defense whatsoever. He doesn't. He's not a good defender at all. We definitely need to make a move for another defensive player. And what's going on with Dante Exum right now with his injury is he's going to have to. I heard he has to require surgery, which is not good. So it looks like he may or him could possibly get traded now. Now I've been thinking about that, and he was hurt last year, but came back and got hurt and he was having injuries like on and off. But he's another good defender, but the problem is that Dante Exum just can't stay healthy. That's another issue with Exum. But we'll see what happens. By the way, but I think Hardy will definitely could be someone that can like step up whenever injuries are happening. Definitely with his 3-point jump shots. And I do want to talk about, and there's another guy that's playing for the 2A contract, which is Emmanuel Miller, who went to TCU. He had an impressive game. He scored 11 points. And Jason Kidd, they say this today, this is going to be a very, very tough decision for a 2A contract player who's going to get the final spot. Honestly, I agree with him. This is going to be very, very interesting who gets the final spot. And here's a cool fact about Emmanuel Miller. And I actually met him one time when he was at TCU. So it was my first TCU Special Olympics unified basketball game, which was played at the Recreation Center at TCU. And that's where I actually met Emmanuel Miller at. And he was pretty cool to talk to. I had a pretty good conversation with him. And I remember when I was going for the layup at the unified game, Emmanuel Miller just dabbed me up, and then he tells me when I come off the court, he's like, "Man, I gotta try to be like you." I was like, "Oh man, for real?" I'm like, "I wish I had your skills, but I'm not even good enough to go to pros. I'm just playing for fun." But I told him that I like that buzzer beater you hit against Georgetown that last season. And he told me appreciate it. That was my favorite game to watch Emmanuel Miller playing when he hit that buzzer beater against Georgetown to win the game. And honestly, just meeting somebody who plays for the Mavericks was a very cool experience. But if he doesn't make the team, he'll more than likely go to Texas Legends. That's where I could see him going. And now, so I do want to talk about this upcoming game. They have they have upcoming this Thursday for the preseason. So they're getting ready to take on the Utah Jazz, and I'm iffy about who's going to win. So there's no really telling since not everybody's going to be playing. But they did say Klay Thompson and Kyrie are supposed to play this Thursday. But we'll see. I am in a rush to see him play, but you at the same time you want to be careful so they don't get hurt. And I'm hoping Luka heals up within the week, but I wouldn't play Luka tomorrow just so he can rest some more, because honestly he's been having injury issues, and hopefully he heals all the way. By the time the regular season starts, we'll be ready to go and just go for that championship trophy. And I think we'll end up playing the Boston Celtics in the finals again. I think it's possible, but hopefully somebody beats the Boston Celtics in the East. We'll just have to see what happens. Well, yeah, man, but I'm excited for this upcoming season. It's going to be interesting. So now, as next week on Tuesday, the Mavericks are going to take on the Los Angeles Clippers at LA, and then next Thursday is the final preseason game against the Milwaukee Bucks with the Bucks, and that's song going to be on TNT, and that place is going to be filled up because everybody wants to see Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, and it's going to be interesting how the game goes. And they did talk about that if Giannis Antetokounmpo fails again in the first in the playoffs, they're talking about Mavericks have a good chance of getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is honestly it's really crazy if we do end up if he does come to Dallas. I'm not saying we are gonna get him, but I say it's a 50% chance of us getting him. And honestly, everybody's gonna want to get him if he chooses to leave Milwaukee. But we'll see what happens. But my thing is, who we gonna trade? Have to give up for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Somebody's gonna have to go. And it's a risky move we're about to give up for him. But we're gonna see. But we're just gonna have to focus on this upcoming season and one game at a time, and we just go from there. I want to thank y'all for listening to my cast, and I'll be doing my other podcast again after for my feedback on the Utah Jazz and the Mavericks game. And I will see y'all then. God bless y'all, and y'all have a blessed day.